Like the dirt's really good.
Gossip, whatever.
Yeah.
I think that's the slogan.
News, gossip, and whatever is the slogan, and it's actually really good listening. You should take a listen. But it's not the creators of the dirt that are going to reap the rewards of it. It's people to go, hey, I can get people to listen to that, and then eventually, the dirt will have its own sort of career, and eventually, Funkhouser will make it to the private island. But really, the victor in this particular situation, to which the spoils will be apportioned, are those that can drive the digital traffic to check out the dirt on a Friday. Yep, true story. Would you agree, Funkhouser?
Oh, yeah.
This is why it's important that we call ourselves iHeartMedia as opposed to Clear Channel.
iHeartMedia.
Yes. Well, I'm now no longer a radio DJ. I'm a media professional. And it's about time I get the appropriate recognition for that. How many different forms of media can we scatter fart jokes across, Funkhouser? I think it's all of them.
To Vine
we go. Ready to bake beans. All right, what's going on in the world?
Tommy Chong says he's using his time on Dancing with the Stars to call attention to the issue of medical marijuana.
Meanwhile, Alfonso Ribeiro is using his time on Dancing with the Stars to call attention to the fact that Alfonso Ribeiro is still alive.
Who's that? Oh, that's the Carlton guy, right?
See? Yeah, my case in point.
I saw a little Dancing with the Stars this week, and I Googled Tommy Chong to see how old he was. How old do you think he is?
Isn't he in his 70s now? Like, he's old.
Yeah.
How old is he?
76.
76. That's so cool. Like, it just shows that, I don't know, when you're sort of like 18, 19, you're pretty confident that your life is going to be over by the time you're 25. I remember being in a band and being like 17 and 18 years old going like, man, by the time I'm 25, I'm going to be washed up by the time I'm 24. And, that's fine, because who the hell wants to be old and being in a band? I don't want to be 25 and be like up on stage trying to hang from lighting rigs. When you're 25, you're ancient. And that's honestly how I used to feel. And, we all talk about this all the time. As you get older, the goalposts move. But Tommy Chong being 76... and going on things like Dancing with the Stars, and still being vital, and still being creative, and still having a career, although people would question what kind of shape your career is in if you have to go on Dancing with the Stars. But I don't know. I think it's cool to see somebody out there that's still ornery and hacked off and kicking ass in some way at age 76, even if it is on Dancing with the Stars. Gives me hope for there being a lot more of a viable future than I thought there was. How about you?
I think he'd say something like, age isn't anything but a number, man.
Hey, man, age is just a number. You gotta wonder, if I'm doing Dancing with the Stars at 76, maybe all those bong rips over the years have... Yeah, you think? You think maybe the herb is good for you? Medicinal marijuana, man. Sorry, I gotta go cram for my urine test. That's actually a line from a Cheech and Chong record. Did you ever listen to Cheech and Chong albums back in the day?
Well, not back in the day, but like more recently, yeah.
More recently? Mm-hmm. I only ever got one. It was the Born in East LA one, which was like where I guess their career, like I kept hearing like, oh, Cheech and Chong are amazing. You should get their albums. And I got one Cheech and Chong album, and I think it was like Born in East LA. I think that's what it was called. It was okay, but it was apparently the one at the end of their career where they hated each other, and when they went to make the Born in East LA movie, they'd already broken up as a comedy duo, and it was just Cheech in the movie. I remember seeing an interview with Tommy Chong when they were asking him how he felt about his old stand-up comedy partner, and he was like, do you wish Cheech well? He's like, nah. They're like, how do you feel about him? He's like, yeah. I hope his daughter marries a jazz musician, man. That's about how I feel about him. I was like, oh, yeah, that's good. Go on.
Disney has released a plot synopsis for the new Avengers movie. A movie I will not see.
Did you see the first one?
Nope.
Do you care? Did you read comic books back in the day?
Nope. Don't care. Yeah. Not going to see it.
See, I did read comic books back in the day. Avid collector of comic books.
Do you have a version, an episode 1 of anything?
No, I don't. I was never. Well, okay. So there's an important distinction to be made. I was watching a documentary a little while ago about people that are obsessed with collecting stuff, specifically Star Wars things, and you find people that have like 4 or 5 of the same item, never taken out of the box, and this is really important to them. And those people are collectors. They get this little sort of rush, this little endorphin, dopamine-related high when they purchase something and they add it to their collection. And then that goes away, and they have to find something else to add to their collection. But at no point do they take these toys out of the box and play with them. Like, I always thought that collectors, when they have 5 of something, it's like, well, these 4 something that they're going to collect and maybe resell at some point. And then the 5th one, that's the one they take out of the box and play with, right? And no, they don't play with those things. They just collect them. So as much as I want to say I collected comic books, I wasn't a collector. I bought them and I read them over and over again, and I enjoyed them. So I just happened to have a lot of comics, but it was because I enjoyed them so much and I read them. And I stopped collecting or buying comic books when I hit about the 8th grade and realized that money I was spending could be used to, do things like date girls. And girls trump comic books awfully quickly in my youth, but I still love them. I still like to reread some of them. I really get a kick out of it. But I've been wildly disappointed by every comic book movie adaptation ever. There was never one where I thought, hey, that was good. They made that come to life the way I wanted them to. Except for the first Avengers movie. I was like, there it is. Well done. You're doing your thing, and we're all proud of you. So I'll go give the new Avengers movie a look in. They've released the plot synopsis. Iron Man will make a sarcastic pop culture reference. Captain America and Thor won't get it. Hulk will smash something, and after taking your whole family to see the movie, you'll be broke until your next friggin' paycheck.
The show and enjoy AD on the go. iHeartRadio presents AD.
Reverend. Again, note sarcastic air quotes around the word reverend, because reverend implies a man of God. The word of God is, throughout history, been proven to be open to a certain amount of interpretation. But I use the word reverend a little loosely in this situation because of my interpretation of the word of God. Reverend Jesse Jackson is now trying to get paid by the NFL. How does this all work? Well, like a shark, he smells blood in the water, and he's going after what he has decided is his fair share. We'll get into that in just a little bit. Right now, though, let's continue with the news. Funkhouser, what else is going on in the world? Hit the news bet that makes us sound entirely more professional and together than we actually are, and tell us, inform us. Oh, it was like a DJ remixing the news. That was do that again.
Wiki.
Yeah. All right. What is going on in the world?
I used to be a lot faster.
Rosie O'Donnell says it's actually hard to get used to herself now that she's lost all them pounds.
Yeah, she's getting back on TV, and possibly so she wouldn't have to have a foot amputated as part of the diabetes, and possibly so she can be there for her kids, and possibly so she looks better on television. She's lost a whole bunch of weight. I think something like 75 pounds or something like that, but Rosie O'Donnell has said it's hard to get used to herself now that she's lost that much weight. Her furniture does not feel the same way. What else?
The season finale of America's Got Talent airs tonight.
Yep. Season's tryouts were held in dozens of cities, but not Tijuana, which is kind of a bummer because I've seen women there do amazing things. What else?
Tim Tebow joined Good Morning America as a correspondent.
You know, when he was rifling passes directly into the ground and claiming that God was on his side, I kind of felt like, yeah, that God's not on your side. But the fact that he's been able to, spin being an unsuccessful NFL player into a primetime gig on television as a correspondent would maybe argue differently. Maybe the big guy is looking out for him. I can tell you this, though. Now that Tim Tebow's joined Good Morning America as a correspondent, just like that, Good Morning America's flag football team got a whole lot worse. What else?
Kim Kardashian posted a photo where she's hugging a koala. It's my best
koala.
Impersonation.
The koala now, unfortunately, has incurable herpes. What were we calling it yesterday? There was AIDS. There was Hadesitis, the herpes, AIDS, hepatitis combination. What was a guy called Jacob who tweets along with the show? Herpes syphigonorrhea or something like that? Whatever the diseases are, the koala now has all of them. Go on.
Kanye West, he says he's a Christian man.
Doing a little damage control after shouting at people in wheelchairs to stand up during his concert. He only let him off the hook. Like, he was like, everybody has to stand up. And he was like, you too, wheelchair dude. I don't believe you're actually handicapped. He questioned how handicapped this guy in the wheelchair was. And eventually, he held up his prosthetic leg. And he was like, okay, I'm going to let you finish. Larry Flint was the greatest paraplegic of all time, but I'm going to let you do your thing. So Kanye West is now doing a little bit of damage control. He's gone on the record saying that he's a Christian man, which is all well and good, but I'm going to go out on a limb and imagine that the closest he gets to religion is each time he sees Kim's naked backside and yells, "Oh, dear Lord!" You know, all the things, all the complaints, all the justifiable complaints you want to level at Kim Kardashian about being just awful, terrible succubus, fame whore that takes everything and gives back nothing, put here by Satan, who therefore probably deserves to die. As much as all those things are probably true if we had to think long and hard about it. And I'm not actually saying Kim Kardashian deserves to die. That is my satirical right given to me by God and by Larry Flint. But as much as you want to detract from her, dat ass.
Oh yeah, that ass though.
It covers up a lot of sins in more than the literal way. Go on.
Sony plans to reboot the 90s horror movie I Know What You Did Last Summer. I still know what you did last summer.
What you did last summer, I haven't forgotten about it. Although at this point it would be like, 3-4 summers. Anyways,
I sort of remember what you did last summer.
This concept has been around for so long that Alzheimer's is setting in due to old age and dementia. But I think I have a vague recollection that you did something that was a little unsavory several summers ago. What's this hook doing on my hand? Anyways, that being the case,
I think I remember what someone did last summer.
Oh, God. I know what people at Sony didn't do last summer. Work on original ideas. What else?
Well, Cassandra Peterson turned 63 today. Who is that?
Yes, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark.
And how old are her boobs?
I think they're all real. I think they're the same age as her. I'm fairly certain. Have you ever seen the Elvira movie? There's it really goes to show, like, it's with plastic surgery and how everything's gotten more extreme. Like, guys are pumped full of HGH. Chicks have tons of plastic surgery. Like, back in the day, Elvira, Cassandra Peterson, was known for having quite a rack. And, she did. But by today's standards, it's almost nothing, because if you check out the Elvira movie, there's a rather lovely scene at the very end of it where she has tassels on her cans and makes them spin in opposite directions, burlesque style. It's very impressive stuff. It's definitely a neat trick. But you might remember back in the day thinking, God, Elvira's got the hugest cans on the face of the planet. And they're really kind of, by today's overinflated, both psychologically and physically, by today's overinflated psychological standards, as well as plastic surgery related standards, they're really not that much to look at. They're still great. They're still wonderful. I'm still mollified by them because, they're boobs. As you can see, I'm having problems getting the words out because I'm distracted thinking about that scene at the end of the movie where she manages to make them swing in both directions. But yeah, by today's standards, Elvira's cans, really nothing to write home about.
Sometimes you just know you're done. You're longing for that shining sun. You walk these streets most every day. You